Scott Jennings destroys former Biden hack in fiery segment when she denies the radical left's culpability for Kirk's assassination and attacks Trump. Now, of course, they blame Trump for leftists killing a conservative. I mean, who else they're going to blame? They're not going to blame themselves. They're not going to blame their rhetoric, the leftist rhetoric. They're not going to blame their hatefulness because they want to feign and they want to pretend like they're all tolerant, but they're really not. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to play the clip and hear Jennings, what Jennings has to say to the CNN panelists. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I'll talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from the Gateway Pundit, and they report that Scott Jennings thoroughly schooled one of Joe Biden's former talking heads during a fiery segment on CNN following the latest developments in the Charlie Kirk assassination. As the Gateway Pundit reported, Utah authorities on Tuesday released the text exchange between Tyler Robinson and his transgender lover, Lance Twiggs, sent shortly after Kirk's assassination. In the text messages, Robinson revealed why he murdered Kirk, saying, quote, he had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. In other words, a radical pro-trans leftist killed Kirk because he told the truth. I mean, it's a fact. Men can't get pregnant, and a man can't be a woman, and vice versa. I mean, those are biological facts, no matter what the left try to say about that. But despite this obvious revelation, former Biden White House Communications Director Kate Bedingfield was more concerned about Trump rightfully calling out the left for creating the atmosphere that led to Kirk's assassination. She went on to say that liberals and conservatives being at each other's throat was, quote, a dangerous place to be. But Jennings completely flipped the script on her by reading Robinson's own words and correctly noted that leftists have been calling Trump and other conservatives disgusting names for years. Thus, it's no surprise Robinson became radicalized. Bedingfield tried to push back by bringing former Minnesota Democratic State Rep Melissa Portman, who was gunned down back in June by a crazed former Tim Walz appointee named Vance Luther Bolter, as if there's an actual comparison to be made between the two cases. Jennings again smacked Bedingfield down, particularly when she went on to call Robinson sick instead of evil, which he is, I should say. He then finished her off when she again whined about the left being blamed for the attack. So let's watch the clip here. Here we go.
Where it starts to get concerning is when you have figures from President Trump on down who are trying to use this moment to suggest that there is inherent violence on the left and that the government should be seeking out and rooting out these organizations when we have no indication that this shooter acted at the behest of or through the organization of any of these groups. And I think when you start to bleed those two concepts together and create this notion that in this incredibly fraught moment in the wake of this horrific shooting, when you foment the idea that we have to be at each other's throats politically, I think that's a dangerous place to be.
Why did I do it? I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out.
So can I ask you? So
he has flat.
Scott, just explain what you just read.
That is the message that the shooter, Tyler Robinson, sent to his roommate. That is what he said. He also engraved the word, "Hey, fascist, catch," on the bullet. For 10 years, we have heard nothing from the left but that Donald Trump is a fascist, Republicans are Nazis, authoritarians, destroy the Constitution, bloodbath, dictator for a day. And he wrote it on the bullet.
So can I ask you?
And he's been obviously marinating in some kind of information that radicalized him based on what he heard in the air in this country.
So does the shooter who assassinated Melissa Hortman, who was a stated Trump supporter, whose roommate said
Are you
he was
trying
a
to
Trump
equate these
does
two
he
things? I'm
represent?
sorry.
Can you let me finish my thought, please?
Please.
We're talking about two people in politics who both.
I'm asking you,
whose
does that
lives were both
shooter
taken.
represent the entirety of the MAGA movement? Of course not. I would never argue that. I don't think you would argue that. So why is it acceptable to use this moment to argue that somebody, a sick individual who committed a horrific crime,
How do you know he's sick?
is somehow Are you here to argue for his sanity?
I'm here to argue. All I know is what the prosecutor said today. He read very lucid messages from a shooter who was motivated by political hate, who had a plan to get away with it. He did not sound like a deranged person. He sounded like someone who had decided to take it upon himself to rid the world of someone that he hated politically, that he thought that the world would be better off without that. That's different than some deranged lunatic showing up off the street.
His actions were horrific, but to assign the specific hateful, violent, awful actions of somebody on an individual on the right or an individual on the left,
I don't know that you're right about what happened in
of the
Minnesota.
political conversation is incredibly dangerous and irresponsible in this moment.
Well, I think it's dangerous and irresponsible for nobody to take responsibility for 10 years of the use of the language fascism, Nazis, authoritarian, so on and so forth. It's on the bullet casing.
I have seen nothing but Democrats in the wake of this murder saying that it was awful.
You've seen nothing?
I have seen them
literally nothing.
Elected Democrats.
They're
I have seen
actually
them saying nothing
celebrating.
but
What
it
are you
was
talking
horrific,
about?
that they condemn it, that they are sorry for his family, that this is an awful moment in the country. I've seen President Trump do nothing but say it was the Democrats' fault.
Did you not see Ilhan Omar? You know what I'm saying? Did you not see that? Did you not see Democrats celebrating and cheering on the death of Charlie Kirk? Like, are you for real? She's not real, man. She's not real. She's just a talking head. It's despicable. And you cannot equate the two, the Minnesota shooting with this, because the Minnesota shooting, it was a deranged dude. We don't even know where he was politically. He was actually appointed by Tim Walz. He said he was actually told by Tim Walz to do these things. So you cannot even equate the two. But they're gonna keep trying. They're gonna keep trying because they know this looks bad for the Democrat Party, and a lot of people are fleeing the Democrat Party because of this. A lot of people are leaving the Democrat Party. We see it in the numbers. We see it in the registration. I just read an article about 30 states where you have to register to, as an independent or Republican or Democrat. 30 states do this, where you have to actually register with a party, and Republicans in every single one of these states are winning this. So people are fleeing ship. They're leaving the Democrat Party because they're tired of the hateful rhetoric. They're tired of the stupid idiocracy that this party has been pushing over the last 10 years. People are done. People are fed up. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.